New introduction here. I want to get everybody's attention for what I feel will be a lucrative opportunity. It's the first ever NYSE marijuana IPO. We're making history here, and I feel this is just the first stepping stone in what is going to be the start of many IPOs on both the NASDAQ and the NYSE. I feel we're going to have a marijuana sector and marijuana ETFs in the future, and this is just step number one. If you are familiar with the industry, that's all I have to say. I know you're interested already. If this is new to you, this is going to be, in my opinion, the greatest financial opportunity in our lifetimes. This has never happened before. We have an established tens of billions dollar industry that the floodgates are going to open. It's becoming more and more legitimate legally, and this is just step number one. So Innovative Industrial Properties is the company. The ticker is IIPR. It is a real estate REIT that invests in medical marijuana facilities. And for this IPO, we have a new website, www.mjipo.com. I put together an hour of research video going through the filings, researching the company and the executives, and establishing a game plan, looking at some other IPOs and how they have traded. We're going to have a chat room with live Q&A during that day, Tuesday, November 22nd. And we'll also have the live webcam where I'll be showing our charts, going over, pointing out key support and resistance levels, looking at the volume that's coming in. I'm really looking forward to this opportunity. I hope you will join us. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into the charts. Good morning, everybody, although I guess it might not be morning when you're watching this, but pretend it is. SPY on the daily, weekly, and shorter term time frames. We still have a higher low and higher high pattern. We came very close to the all-time high, but could not break it. SPY got up to 219.60 at its peak. Not yesterday, but at its all-time high. But I don't really like using SPY because it is subject to dividends, and that does affect the charting and the pricing here. So I like the S&P 500 cash level, SPX. But looking at the SPY daily chart, we have a very clear uptrend line of higher lows ever since the election. If that were to break, if on Monday we break 218.29, we will look for consolidation, which hasn't really occurred much since that big move to the upside. But the bulls really want to break that all-time high before that occurs to get that out of the way. Otherwise, we do have a potential little double top that we need to be watching. So let's look at the weekly time frame, and let's check it out on SPX, because that's what I like watching for all-time high levels. So the all-time high, 2193.81. And on Friday, we got 2189.89, and we came within $4, which essentially was less than 0.4%. And even where we closed, we're still about 0.5% from an all-time high. So as long as we're under 1% from an all-time high, we know it's just one bull day away from occurring, or from possibly occurring. So next week, we have this middle Bollinger Band as support on the weekly. We have the MACD here closing in on a bullish cross. It will be even closer next week. And like I said, we want to see a break of that all-time high for the bulls before consolidation occurs to alleviate the concern of that potential double top. And looking at the 5-minute time frame, there was a nice trade opportunity early on in the morning. We had a bullish start, hit the high of the day right away, and we pulled back, formed a lower high, tightening range right here, the key 100 and 200 period moving average support. And those levels at about 10:30 a.m. after an hour of trading were at 218.79, 218.77. And why that level was so important, not only for those 5-minute moving averages, but on the hourly time frame, the 20-period moving average was at 218.76 at that point. And you can see there's a long way down until the next moving average support on the hourly. So we had 3 moving averages pretty much all at the same level, and you can see the reaction once those levels broke. We were certainly not the only ones watching that support, as the magnified dump on increased bear volume clearly showed that was a key bearish break. And then on the bounce attempt to get back to those levels, we rejected. So they acted as support, we dumped when they were lost as support, and then the back test rejected from those levels a couple times at the end of the day before pulling back into the close. So it's very clear that that support turned into resistance, and we can see that rejection 218.75, 78, 76, 79. After those moving averages were all right in those levels. So now that's a key level to watch, and might as well stick that on my chart to remember for Monday. And I always draw on my chart. Certainly helps, especially over a weekend. So I'm going to stick that line there, and it's going to stay there through next week, and we'll see if the bulls can get over that level and turn it back into support. So we'll see what Monday brings. Might be consolidation, but we know we are very close to an all-time high. All we need is that break and 0.5% to the upside for the bulls. So we'll check back in Monday. I appreciate you watching it. Have a great rest of your weekend.